Aha. We were muted. Now you can hear
Gotta
us.
start
Isn't that
again?
sad? Yep, go ahead.
No, that's sad.
Oh,
Hi,
we
I'm
missed
CJ
all-
Blair. I'm a novelist, and tonight.
Oh, we could see it this time.
I can see the light.
Can you see the lights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting couple of days. What was I saying? I'm a novelist. Tonight I'm working on finishing my NaNoWriMo project, which was supposed to be done today, but it's not going to be.
Good job. You did it.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I got a really weird video from Mini Monster showing me the back of her throat. I'm like, okay.
She's still sick.
Yeah. So she's like, Mom, I think I need to go see a doctor. I'm like, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, poor thing.
Yeah, that's a thing. All right, so next in line is Dana.
Oh, well, since I was already on a roll, I am Dana Gollin, and I write stuff, and I'm finishing up a pre-order for my pen name Ava Fox for my first sultry, sexy time, 18 and plus book that'll be available mid-February.
Have you made a like a pre-order on Amazon yet?
That's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, so you'll be able to share it during the stream?
Yeah, if I get it done, I definitely will. I'm getting
that's
this.
exciting.
Yeah, I'm making sure I don't screw it up this time, so I'm getting all the like popular keywords.
It's a learning curve.
Oh yeah,
It is. Yeah,
it definitely.
I'm sure
is.
mine aren't right still.
Oh,
Well,
I don't know what the
there's
hell
like,
I'm doing.
Well, and then it's like, and well, especially like with the genre, it's like pick a genre, and you're like, this is my genre, and then it's like pick another one, and you're like, okay, and then it's like pick another one, and you're like, okay, you know, and then it's like, wait a minute, does it really fit into this genre, or should it go into this other genre? And it's yeah.
If there's any authors who are like your story, who write like you can copy their keywords and stuff. Especially if they're popular, they're doing well.
Yeah,
what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
That's fair.
I am going to jump on the popular keyword train. That's right. Copy paste.
Right.
There is no shame in mimicking those who are successful.
That's right.
Until you make it.
Right.
All right, Shay.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cache. I write short stories and poems, working on my first novel, Jesus Never Went to College. I'm on chapter 2, so we're going to be working on chapter 2 and 3 tonight, hopefully. So,
Awesome.
I love that title.
I know. Yeah. I was just going to say, that's like an awesome title.
It never gets old for me.
All right, and Tamara.
Hello, my name is Tamara Woods, and I'm a cozy mystery author. And I am working on edits, and I'm going to be writing by hand so I can actually see what I'm doing. It was just blurring on my screen, so and that's it.
Awesome. And I am Sarah Sharnover, and this is my channel. And so we're late tonight. And I won't say it the way I said it last time, but it's my mom's birthday, so I went to her house and we ate food.
Was it Little Caesar's Pizza?
It wasn't Little Caesar's Pizza. It was fried chicken, and then they bought a cake from a local bakery. It was delicious.
Well, that's cool. Your dad done good.
Was it like homemade fried chicken, or did you get it from somewhere?
They got it from somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't even know where. It was in like a generic ass, like, this is fried chicken in this here box.
But it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I had bought like really greasy fried chicken, and it just made everybody sick because there was so much grease in it. And so now if I buy fried chicken, I stick it in the oven before I feed it to everyone, because I'm like,
I know a lot of people do that with KFC.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah. KFC is like the worst. Like if we get it and then it sits in the refrigerator overnight. When you open the package back up the next day, it's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, you gotta
I don't know
like,
that I've ever eaten KFC that wasn't fresh.
yeah.
I'm not a huge fried chicken person. I don't like eating things with bones in them. It like freaks me out.
When I make it at home, I use boneless chicken breasts,
Mm.
and then I just fry it up, and then, or I'll use like thighs, boneless thighs, because
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to like hold the drumstick and
Yeah. Yeah, that I can't do that. Mm-mm.
Imagery.
Oh
It
my
creeps me
goodness.
out so much. Like it gives me the willies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have like a bad experience with a bone?
I had a fish bone get stuck in my throat when I was like 6.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awful.
Oh yeah.
I don't need to
Fish
go
bones
there.
are the worst.
I like legit. My boss peeled shrimp for me on a trip one time, and my older brother, who doesn't do shit for anyone without a reason, peeled meat off of bone for me on a vacation one time. Like I just cannot do it. I can't.
Oh wow.
So I can deal with like a chicken breast, if like with a bone in it, but there's stuff still stuck to it because I'm not doing that.
Right.
I know. I understand that.
Yeah, it creeps me out to no freaking end. And I write horror. This makes sense.
I would I would not be surprised if like one of your horror stories had somebody choking on like a trout bone or something.
I'm sure eventually it'll happen.
Yeah. One time the kids wanted to go fishing, so I was like, all right, there was like a little pond in this small town that my dad lives in. And so we went there, and the only thing that was in the pond were like sunfish.
Mhm.
And so the kids were like, Mom, we want to try to eat the sunfish. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be, yeah. So
No.
So I cooked him like a little whitefish, and then I sat there, I legitimately sat there the entire time pulling all these tiny little ninja bones. And it was so funny because like I would peel all these little bones out, and I'd be like putting fingers full of boneless meat into the kids' mouth. I mean, I just did that for hours. It was horrible.
That
Sunnies
sounds
are
terrible.
Well, a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll like fillet the sunfish and get rid of the skin, and then they'll just grind them up and make patties out of them. And but I was watching, there was a Filipino woman who wrapped them in like banana leaves or something, and then she like roasted them, and when she opened them up, the meat just flaked right off, and I was like, man, if I could just figure out how to do that. But
cooking tips.
yeah, that's a lot of, I don't know where I would get banana leaves, so.
Okay, hold
They
on.
come from bananas.
You could grow a banana tree. You have all the banana leaves you need.
I can't grow a tree, man.
I'm gonna need you to grow a banana tree. It's a necessary thing for you to do right now.
Oh man.
Around here, they use taro leaves to like bake stuff in and make the little pork and stuff. But I ain't got theirs either. So.
Pork.
The only thing that's growing in my yard is like roaches.
We don't have anything growing in our yard right now, but we got tomatoes this summer. And I think we did better this year than we did last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got like, I don't know, a dozen tomatoes. But
Are
maybe
you
more.
Are you growing them in like planters or in the ground?
We had 2 that started in the front in the ground, and then we had 3 that started in the back in pots. And I think if I repotted them into bigger pots, they would have done better, but I didn't. And we ended up putting them in the ground, and those didn't start producing until like September. So by the time October came around, like it froze and they were done.
Yeah.
But we got quite a bit from the ones in the front. And then I planted potatoes this year in a basket, which actually worked really well. And if I watered them more often, we've discovered we can't actually plant anything we have to take care of out in the front because we don't go in and out the front door except to go get the mail in the summer.
Right.
And maybe to sit on the porch. But that's not enough to like remember to water stuff. Like that's a big problem.
Right.
I have 2 palm trees and I think it's called an umbrella plant in the basement in my studio.
You have palm trees in your inside?
Yeah, they're small. Like one of them is like 4 feet and the other one's like maybe 4.5.
Are they like the real thin-leaved palm trees? They're not like the.
One of them is. The other one is a thicker leaf.
Okay, but it's not like the ones that you would see like in my mom's front yard. They're not the ones like with the. Okay, yeah.
No, these are a smaller
Right.
breed.
Okay, I'm like.
These are my dad's, and he didn't want to take care of them anymore.
Right.
So he was like, "You should come and get them." And I was like, "Okay." They're fairly easy to take care of. Like you water them with plant food like once a week, and they sit down underneath the light in the studio, and they do their thing.
Yeah.
And they make my studio look like more welcoming.
Yeah, that's cool.
Wow, it is funky over here. Someone must have their Medi Mary card and they are utilizing it tonight. It is like, wow. Like it
all over the
smells
place.
like I'm smoking. And I am clearly not. I don't know what they're doing. They're having a great time.
If Tamara checks out later, we will know why.
Right. I'll be up here. Hey, man. Hey, my name's Tamara. Nice to meet you.
Let's be friends.
Let's go ahead and get on to that writing sprint because everything is good.
I'm so happy to be here.
Right. All right, we should say hi to the comments because we like haven't done that yet. Like a bunch of jackasses. All right.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I can't see y'all.
We
but
got Persephone and Jennifer. Mary is here. Michael. Jean is here. Leora. Welcome everybody. Destiny's here. Okay. Sorry, I stopped scrolling to put my sock back on. Tina Forcier is here. Welcome. Eva is here. And I think I got everybody. If I missed you, it was not intentional, I swear. I was scrolling quickly and there's been a lot of conversation. So I apologize. All right. So what all are we working on tonight? You guys already said. CJ, what are you working on?
I'm trying to finish this NaNoWriMo, from 3 months ago.
Got it. Gotcha.
That works.
At least you
I'll
came
get there
back to it.
Yes, I will
Yeah.
eventually get there.
Eventually.
That's
Eva
right.
says your mom shares her birthday with her sister, uncle, a friend. That same friend's youngest son and another friend's son for today. Wow.
Yeah, funny
That's a lot of
story.
people.
My mom actually has 2 birthdays. And today is her first birthday. Yesterday was her second birthday.
Which makes no sense.
No.
But it's still really
Somewhere
funny.
around 50 years into my mother's life, we had to get passports. So my mom went and got a birth certificate. Her birth certificate says that her birthday was January 30th. But for the first 50 years of her life, her birthday was January 31st. So she had to legally change her name on or her birth date on everything.
Oh wow.
That would be so weird.
And both
I
of
had-
her parents
Yeah.
are dead.
with 2 different days on them.
Yeah.
You do
can't have
too?
that.
Really?
I have 2 different birth certificates with 2 different days, and when I got my passport, I had to go get the right one, and that's how I ended up with 2. But
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
the wrong day on my birth certificate.
Is this a common thing?
It
I
must
was
be.
gonna say, where were you born?
I was born in Oklahoma.
Okay. Where was your mom born?
Iowa.
Marshalltown, Iowa.
Oh wow.
It's
Rural Iowa.
See, look, Crafty Nomad said my husband's dad has 2 birthdays. My grandmother had 2 birthdays. What? See? It's like a
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
My mom's
I
part of
wonder
a
if
secret
there's
club she
something
doesn't
that
even know she's in.
happened.
The
I wonder
crazy
if
part
it's
is I was nowhere close to like the middle. I was like at the beginning of the morning. I was like born at 11 something in the morning. So it wasn't like it was like midnight. You could have forgot and put it in at the wrong time. So I don't know
Right.
what.
somebody was
Huh.
enjoying themselves a little bit too much during their break. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Knowing what country bumpkin town I was born in, it could have been a high school student, for all I know.
Oh man.
That is wild. Now I want to absolutely explore this story.
right?
That's such a weird phenomenon. I want to play with that.
Oh, we got the mystery going.
It's
I know.
I mean, but
almost
doesn't that sound
inevitable.
like that's
No, it does.
That's where we're at. This is the group for that.
I almost accidentally turned off the stream just now.
Oh no.
Wow. You would
I
have
was like, you know what, I'm done.
Well, I almost turned off OBS, which would have been really weird.
They would have all been like, "What happened? What
Yeah.
happened?"
It would have just gone.
We're just gonna do a short
Yeah,
run
we're done with you
tonight.
guys.
We're done here. We said hi. We talked about food. We're good.
Right?
That's right.
Kind of our modus operandi, isn't it?
Right?
Yeah.
I think I might work on
We
that.
did have a mention of tacos in the comments, so you know.
I was gonna
I
work
saw
on
that.
writing.
Somebody said taco cake. And I
Yeah.
was thinking about, I wonder, like, what that would be like. Like, how could you make a taco cake? Like,
Right.
would it be like a taco looking cake, like a taco cake that looks like tacos? Or would it be a cake made out of tacos?
Ooh.
But
Possibilities.
here's the thing:
sorry.
if it's
That
a
was
cake, if it's a cake made out of tacos, is it really a cake? Because it's not made out of cake. It would just be like tacos stacked on top of each other to form a cake shape.
No, but I'm saying, like, you could make like a cake that's made out of the bits of taco. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, like the ingredient. Okay.
like taco ingredients. You make a cake out of taco ingredients. I don't know how you would do that.
Can you cake it?
Yes.
Has this been done?
Oh.
Yeah, I
Somebody
can't
needs to
remember what her name is,
research.
but yes.
I know. I'm trying to find where they list their keywords on when you like look at the book when you go to purchase it.
These are all cakes that just look like tacos. They're not actually tacos made to form cake.
So my question, as somebody who does not like cake, is that better or not as good as a cake that is made out of taco ingredients? Because I don't like cake, so I would think that a cake made out of taco ingredients would be better because I like tacos, but I don't like cake.
Right, because it wouldn't really be a cake. It would be like tacos. Because it would
So would
taste
it-
like tacos.
Cake made out of tacos be better than a cake that just looks like a taco?
I don't know. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't
I was
know.
gonna-
I'd have to explore both of these.
Well,
I want to do some research.
I think both would be good because I like tacos and I like cake. But is the cake that's in the shape of a taco made out of fondant? I can't stand fondant.
No.
Just go for it, Shay.
Can I just say that this is the highest sounding conversation I have ever heard in my life? Like, I'm sitting here like, I know nobody over here is high, but they sound like the highest like group of people I've ever heard in my life right now. Like, I'm
Friday
sitting
night.
here literally picturing everything y'all are saying, and I'm like, they sound so
Yeah,
high
I was
right
just like, I'm just gonna let this happen, but I don't know what's going on here.
Sorry.
I was having fun. It was just hilarious.
You know, sometimes.
I know. I'm like, hey, we're just that cool. We don't need.
Yeah, you got real relaxed. Then it got relaxed. It's like, well, I like tacos. I'm like, hey, so.
Oh God. That was great. Should we write something?
Yeah,
Probably.
we probably should.
All right.
Oh, God.
All right. Who wants to count us down?
You want to do it, Tamara?
Damn it. I was going to say, do you want to do it, CJ?
I hate you.
I hate you next time. All right, let's do this. And 3, 2, 1, go.
right, that is the cuckoo clock of magical finishedness. Magical finishedness. I just got the best message. It says, there is wine in the fridge.
Was it from your husband?
Yes, it is.
I take back all the horrible things I've said about it.
It would be really creepy if it was from someone else.
I know.
I don't want that. Don't anyone else send me that message. I don't like that message from you. That would be very scary. That sounds like some internet horror movie shit.
Oh man.
All right. So how did everybody do?
Oh,
Well,
I did
I'm
do a bunch
still.
of research.
You didn't do what?
Go ahead. I had to do a bunch of research and I didn't get very much.
No, I was
I
gonna
have to
say
do
they pretty much the same thing. I didn't get very much done because I'm trying to figure life out.
I got
I
2
read
books
this stuff.
formatted.
Oh,
All right.
You got-
Laura got 194. She was going to edit, but ended up writing instead. Sorry if I cut someone off. I didn't mean to. All right. So,
that is
okay, yeah.
not-
I'm getting
correct.
questions about the background. The background is actually a function of Zoom. It's just you drop a picture in. If it can figure out where the back ends and where you start, essentially, it will do it. But see how it's not great. It's not like the quality you would get if it was a green screen or something. But it's just my regular background behind me. So. Oh, Haley, get better. I'm sorry.
My sister had the flu last week, the week before. I don't know. It's been like 3 weeks.
Oh no.
2 weeks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's no good.
I got
No good at
94
all.
words. It was very sad, but I did do a bunch of research and that was very helpful.
Awesome. I worked on making a collage for a thing, and then I couldn't think of the word
Sorry.
collage to save said collage, so I spent about a minute going, trying to remember what the hell that word was. It was collage. Now I won't stop saying it, just in case. But I'm also relearning how to use GIMP. And there's my dog.
Yes, this is Oink. I just ran
My
over.
dog.
No, that's my dog.
My dog.
Well, you better hurry up and get on the fucking continent, or it's my dog.
I'm trying to negotiate.
I'm sorry, Oink. She started squalling because I ran her over.
Oh.
Yeah.
Poor baby.
I pinched Dreamer's fur, but instead of her like yelling and waiting, she yells and runs and rips it out, and I'm like,
Oh no.
like, you know, this could have just sucked for a brief moment, but now your tail's gonna hurt for like an hour.
Oh no.
Because she's long-haired, so like if I move my chair a little bit, once in a while I'll pinch her hair. Like I don't get her tail, but I get her hair, and then she pulls it out, so it doesn't really matter that I didn't get her tail.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, Oink doesn't move very fast, so
Oh my gosh. I
She-
just want to hold her.
she just kind of rolls over. She's like, I had just pinched like her tail with the wheel, and so she just rolled over and she's like, help me. I'm like, I'm sorry.
She's so cute.
She
Thank
is.
you. Yeah. They love you, Oink. And she's like, yeah.
I want her so much.
Zug to morning.
Uh-oh, the kitty's in trouble.
Have I showed you how big she's gotten?
My goodness.
Oh, she is a chunker.
She's such a chunk.
She, I'll have to weigh her and see if she weighs as much as CJ's cat yet.
Gotta go.
My cat is actually fatter than one of my sister's dogs. Like she is like twice plus Trixie's size. Because Trixie's like 6-7 pounds.
Is she like a chihuahua?
No, she's a terrier of some kind.
Mm.
Like
They're not sure what kind.
Right. I know. What you
Oh, I want to rub that little belly.
I know.
Goodness.
It's like
Now
a
she's
Buddha
just
belly.
fucking with him.
So cute.
This cat's a booty hole.
Which one?
Zug's
Zug?
Moy.
Uh-oh.
She likes to drive Travis crazy. It's her favorite.
Well, to be fair.
Yeah, what you gonna do?
He was like, wasn't he like, we don't need another cat.
He didn't want us to get another cat, and then we found a cat, and that was that.
Yeah.
Who found another cat?
Well, Sailor found the cat,
Yeah.
but
So his
Blame it-
progeny, his fault.
Yeah, I was gonna say blame it on the kid. She learned it from him.
yeah,
Want to get down?
she's our little idiot now.
She is very sweet. She's just
She's
not very.
real dumb. She's a little feral still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oink was like, let me down. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. And she went straight over to the potty pad. And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
She's
Oh, yeah.
learning.
I know. I love it when they figure out that life is good when they go on the pad because
Right.
it's less of a mess. Like,
Right.
yay. I came home this afternoon and I opened the door and they were all just like sitting there like deer caught in the headlights or something. And I was like, what did you do? And I opened it all the way, and I'm not kidding you. Each one of them had probably pooped like 10 times. And then they did like finger painting, ice skating. Oh, yeah. I was like, thanks, guys. I appreciate this. You
You're
have
like,
no
but we're
idea."
cute though.
I know. They're all like, you're home. Yay. Surprise.
All right. Well, I'm
man.
hearing chimes. Do we want to roll with another one?
Yeah, so my phone will stop yelling at us.
Yeah.
DJ, it's your turn.
All right. I'll take the hit this time.
I got.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, how did everybody do?
I ate a sandwich.
That's
Ooh,
exciting.
what kind of sandwich?
It had roast beef and ham and a bunch of cheese and other stuff.
Well, that sounds delicious.
It was delicious.
I did much, much better this time, word count wise. But now I have to do math. Math is hard.
I got
No, I did 193 words, but that's because I ate 4 popsicles. Don't
Oh, that sounds good.
awesome.
at all.
I got 4 out of 7 keywords done.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, I got 243.
Oh, dope.
And now I want a popsicle. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry. Well, I just had to have them. At least I didn't eat them on screen.
I do love me some popsicles. People moved
But
though.
now my lips are like so cold, y'all. Like I'm over here shivering just a
Oh
little
no,
bit.
nobody moved.
My father is a popsicle addict. So, like, you can go to their house and, like, he always has at least 1 box, sometimes 3 or 4.
Oh,
And
wow.
he eats them, like, he'll eat like 6 or 7 in a night. Like, the man
Yeah.
has no self-control.
That's how Genevieve found these mango cherry swirls, and they're addictive. Like, seriously.
Mango
Like,
cherry swirl.
yeah, and we get them at Kroger, and so they're like seriously addictive. They're terrible. They're really horrible.
Not
They're
last.
horrible. They're addictive.
Not last summer, but I think it was the summer before. Maybe it was last summer. I don't know. It's been a while. My sister got a popsicle making machine. It's not a machine. It's like you stick it in the freezer. It's got like 3 things in it. Put it in the freezer for like 8 hours. And then you puree fruit and you add a little bit of water and like a little bit of honey or some kind of syrup. And then it makes like 9 popsicles in like 45 minutes.
Oh wow.
And they're really good. They take like 15 minutes a piece for 3 of them. Like it takes 15 minutes for 3 of them. And they're delicious. And we eat those a lot, but it also takes up a lot of room in the freezer.
Yeah.
So, because like a regular popsicle box is like thin and it like slides. We don't have one of those.
Yeah. I usually just take the popsicles out and leave them in like the little, like in the door. They have that like cubby. Yeah. Because I take everything out of the box, because when you shove boxes in the freezer, it takes up too much space. So I like everything has to come out of the box, because we with everything we don't have space for boxes in the freezer.
No. Well, and you have a lot of people living in your house.
Yeah.
You guys, one of the houses that my sister's looking at is so cool. It was built.
Your sister that's married, or your sister that lives
the
with
sister
you?
I live with.
Oh, okay.
She's looking at houses.
Does
Like
that
our lease isn't up until like next fall, but she's looking at houses, and some of them are just like, like turn of the century craftsman style homes. A couple of Victorians.
Oh wow, y'all be fancy.
Yeah, I was
no,
say,
that's what's around here.
Yeah,
so
that's
like,
kind of a thing.
If you want like a nice house, you go over in like the prefab neighborhoods that are like fancy and stuff. But where she's looking, it's predominant, like most of the houses were built in the late 1800s, early 1900s. They're usually maybe a quarter of the houses in that neighborhood were built in the 1950s, 1960s. But most of them were built like in the first quarter of the 20th century. So they're all like 100 years old.
yeah.
And some of them are built really well.
most of them are built really, like, they were built to last. And if they're well taken care of, or even somewhat well taken care of.
Yeah.
Like one of them, it has all of the original wood trim, and it's
Oh,
like
wow.
this dark varnish. And so it really, they have all these cream walls, so it really stands out. It's,
That is. So
And
is
every
she
time we
looking
look
to buy one, or are you guys looking to? Yeah,
that's what she's looking to buy one.
that is. I would love to have like an old Victorian, but one that's been maintained, because I'm sick and tired of having to fix shit.
Victorians, here's my thing about Victorians, especially like
Is that what my
late
mom's house
Victorians,
classifies
which
as,
is
or no?
generally what you get here, late like 1880s, 1870s. Like when you get a Victorian, that's the. Sometimes you get a. They're not technically Victorians. They're. I don't know what they're called, but they have but Victorians are tall and skinny.
Right.
I really like craftsman homes, because craftsman homes are like even when they're 2 stories, they're like broad. They tend to
Right.
sprawl a little bit. So like the rooms are bigger, there's more space. The rooms tend to be like more of a more like squared off
Uh-huh.
instead of like weird thin rectangles. But a couple of them they're like a story and a half. So like all the rooms on the second floor are gabled, like they have gabled ceilings, which is just, I love that.
I do not like that.
You don't like gabled well,
I'm 6
well,
foot
that
tall.
makes sense, because yeah, you are exceptionally tall.
So
Yeah.
gabled ceilings are not my thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're a certain height, you certainly don't want a house that you have to.
You have to like walk
Yeah.
around like,
There was a crooked man who lived in a crooked house. His crooked hat. Oh man.
we looked at one that has like the whole property is like a third of an acre. So it's a corner lot. It's huge. And my sister's like, we'd have to learn to enjoy mowing the lawn. And I'm like, I don't like mowing. Like seriously hate mowing the lawn. But it's down the street from the state fairgrounds. So for like 10 days in August, people could park on our lawn, and you can charge like 10 to 20 bucks per car. And if you get like there are people on my parents' street who make a couple $1,000s a day.
People seriously will pay $20 for a parking spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Holy
and this is the thing that makes just blows my mind, because you can park on the street for free. You might have to walk 6 or 7 blocks, but you can park on the street for free.
Right.
But yeah, people will park in like people all around the state fairgrounds. That's what they do. For the 10 days of the state fair.
Wow.
1.5 million people attend. So
yeah. How much does a house like that go for in your area?
So the one by the state fairgrounds is like 135.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm like, wow, that is like so totally.
The house across the
affordable.
street from my parents' house sold for like $25,000.
Yeah.
What?
Mhm.
Holy cow.
What'd you say?
$25,000.
Say that.
Was
The
it
house-
in good condition?
It was in okay condition. It's a 2-story. It's probably about 100 years old too.
Does it have a backyard?
No,
The house I grew
it has
up
no
in
yard.
used 3 acres of land, and it was going for 55.
Yeah, it just depends on where you are.
Wait. So it's on 3 acres of land, and it's like a stick-built home.
This house is not like 2-story or anything. It's got like 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, but yeah.
Well, like
And-
here
And
you
it's
can.
on the commercial street, so it could be used for a business too.
Oh, very
Oh
nice.
wow.
Because that's what
Well,
my grandma used it for like the first half of my life.
Yeah. Because like here you can get an acre You can get like an acre with a stick built house for like 200 plus thousand. You can get an acre with like a trailer on it for like 150. So that's why I was like, are these stick built houses sitting on this property? And that's amazing.
What's a stick built house? Can you define
Like
that
what
for me?
a stick built house would be like what you live in.
Okay, like
So-
a house with a foundation and all
Yeah.
of that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But I live in Oklahoma. It's a lot cheaper to live in Oklahoma than it is in a lot of other states.
Yeah.
And that
But-
that does, Sarah said, it makes a difference where you live, the
Yeah.
property values, and like, so the property, one of the properties she looked at is in a neighborhood. It's a neighborhood where we grew up, but it's a lower middle income neighborhood.
uh-huh.
So those houses are going to be closer to like 120,000 than 140,000, which the one over by the state fairgrounds is 100. It's just a higher property place. I have students who live in like $500,000 homes. They live out in the suburbs, and it's a ridiculous amount of money to pay for a house, but
Yeah.
that's where they want to live. So
That's nuts. Well, the lady that I was visiting today, her house is like $500,000 home. And it's 4 bedrooms, like 2.5 baths. And when I was there, I was like, what the hell did you pay $500,000 for? And basically it has like vaulted ceilings. And so it has like all this dead air, but it makes it feel really big. And I'm just like, you paid a whole lot of money for space you can't even use, you know?
I will say this though, vaulted ceilings collect spider webs like nobody's business.
Yeah. That's why you got to get a big stick.
Yep. I lived in I don't know, was it a condo? Is that what
I think it was technically
townhouse?
a
Condo, townhouse, I don't know. We lived in this apartment. I lived in this apartment for like a year. Sorry, I just saw Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I feel that, Elizabeth. So sorry. I was very cheap in comparison.
Elizabeth, I'm in Honolulu, girl. I got you.
Oh, I
And
can't even imagine.
135 wouldn't buy me a pot to piss in. Not to be, offensive. Crass.
You know what? Stand for that shit on my fucking channel.
You heard her. Look at that. You
I hope
heard her.
Caro's here. I hope Caro's here.
Oh yeah, she's here.
Kiss your ass.
Oh my goodness.
Funny.
I shouldn't be allowed around people. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, do we want to do some more?
More work.
Some more works.
Let's work some more.
CJ does it. She does the countdown.
I will do the countdown. Just for you, Tamara. All right. In 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm sorry, I was working on music for a video thing I'm working on, and I got sidetracked because I was listening to the music and trying to decide if I fucking hated it, which I did. Alright, so how'd everybody else do?
I got 402 words.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Oh, I think you're the record holder for the night.
Win.
I have one more keyword to find, and then I'll have all 7. Oh,
I got 218.
Awesome. Jennifer, what is the online program that allows you to design a street map of your fictional town? Because that sounds like something a lot of people might find useful.
Oh,
Please do tell.
yes.
I
Yes,
wrote
share.
another page and I took some notes on a future story.
Woohoo! Is it about someone with 2 birthdays?
The multiple birthdays?
Maybe.
Well, thank you for coming, Elsie. I appreciate you being here. Even while you're playing Resident Evil, which is pretty exciting, I hope it saves you from any of the jump scares.
Indeed.
Although I might make you squirt something out your nose. I'm a bad person. Bad person.
That is very true.
Oh, I'm working on this thing and I'm tired.
I make it tonight, ladies. By the way, it's so pretty.
Wait, I missed what was pretty.
Oh, I was saying, Tamara and Sarah, I like the eye makeup tonight.
Oh,
It's really
thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. We did not hear you at all.
No, for real.
Sorry. I'm trying to get this voice back, y'all. I'm trying.
Oh,
I
that's
know.
fine.
I have been so sick for a week, and I'm starting to feel better, and now my throat's starting to kind of tighten up a little bit, and my head's getting a little foggy, and I heard "so pretty" tonight, and I'm like, I know you're not talking to me. What?
Oh, Dana, hush.
I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. Their eyeshadow is always like,
Yeah, they're both queens. Like
Yeah.
that's just
Guys.
I love
Carol
it.
made 2 trolls rage quit, and that makes my whole night.
Oh my
that's beautiful.
if seriously, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't even know that there were YouTube channels that showed you how to do eye makeup. Okay. I just thought there was YouTube channels that showed you how to fix toilets and stuff. All right. I can watch how to fix the toilet and do my makeup all in 1 hour.
Yeah,
YouTube is a magical place.
it really
It
is.
really is. And sometimes very weird.
That is true.
Sometimes-
Sometimes magic is like that.
Sometimes people ask me how would you do this? And I'm like, I'd look it up on YouTube, and they're like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, that's how I do
Yeah.
everything.
I was gonna say most of the questions that I have as far as writing is concerned, that's what I did. I just went to YouTube, how do you format for KDP? And there's all kinds, and then you have to sift through the bullshit, because it's you've got 50 million, I know what I'm doing, and once you get past the first 25 million that clearly have no clue, or they make no sense while they're trying to explain this to you, by miracle you find the one who's step 1, go to this place, step 2, click on this thing, be sure to save your work.
You gotta find the people who speak to you.
Yeah.
I know people who are absolutely brilliant at what they do, but they could not explain to you how to do it
Yeah.
for if their life depended on it.
Yeah. Well, and it is exactly like that, because they could be explaining it amazingly, and because I don't understand the language, I'm just what?
I want you to know that's really that is a challenge. That I teach piano, and most of my students have had some kind of music exposure, like in school, or like they play another instrument or whatever. But I have a couple that they had no music whatsoever when they came in, and so they have to learn a whole new vocabulary.
Yeah.
And when I say things like, we're going to play from measure 4, and they're like, what's a measure? And that's just, I mean, that's part of learning. So you have to find people who can teach you in your language,
Yeah.
or at least translate well.
You guys, I'm about to have a freaking heart attack. I just said, oh yeah, make sure you save your work. And for whatever reason, Amazon timed out, and everything that I did in the last hour plus
Oh no.
is
Oh, no.
gone.
Oh no.
I'm like,
Oh, Dana.
this
Did
is
you take notes?
no.
Oh.
No, but you know what? It'll be fine. I'll just go back to it keeps a log of where I've been. So I'll just go back to those things, and this time I'll write it down. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Save your work, everybody.
Yeah, do that now. In fact, I think I saved mine, but I'm going to go back and resave.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I saved mine, and I lost something on Premiere the other day.
Oh man.
Terrible.
So
hate
did
it.
y'all see Sarah Cannon's video, Heart Breathings, where she was talking about making $1 million in 10 years as an indie author?
No, but I saw that you were talking about it.
Yeah, because I was like, holy shit. Like, that's more than I've made in my entire lifetime. And, you know, I'm here for it. I'm ready for her to be my guru.
Right?
But,
Like,
and it was interesting because she started doing this in 2010. And she said that, you know, when she started, there wasn't a lot of like advertising and stuff like that. And she's never priced a book above $3.99.
oh, okay. Is that what the post you posted was?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, it was just really interesting to hear her talk about her experience, because also when she was starting to do it, that was kind of more in the beginning of this game, you know?
Right.
So the market was bigger.
Yeah.
And that's important too. She didn't really talk about that, but like that's, you know, part of how much success you get is definitely when you can, if you could be an early adopter of something, you can get a bigger foothold.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we see that in a lot of places. You see that here on YouTube. You see that on Amazon. I often kick myself in the ass because I have a friend who would have been around. It would have been around that time, like 09, 10, sometime in there. She was like, you should get into this self-publishing thing and like finish a book and get on there because it's really starting to be a thing. And I was like, oh, I'll get to it eventually, and kind of poo-pooed her. And now I like frequently want to kick myself in the ass, and I'll text her and I'll be like, can I tell you how sorry I am that I'm a dumbass? And she'll be like, I told you so.
In one of my old notepads, I was looking through it. It was from 2010. And I had written out a whole idea of how I was going to start a YouTube channel. And I was like, damn, Tamara, why didn't you do that? Why did you wait?
Because past us is dumb.
For real. I was really busy. There was a lot of beer to be drank. There was a lot of dancing to do. I had
It was all about priorities.
Floor. You know, I mean,
it's all about priorities. It's all about priorities.
Not twerk on the dance floor.
Twerk on the dance floor.
Gosh, I needed that.
I'm lying. I was out in like the backwood bars drinking with old country folk.
In 2010?
Oh yeah, I lived out on Tyrone Road. It was a holler on the outside of Morgantown, West Virginia. And I can't even remember the name of this bar that I used to frequent. And country as hell. Very, very country. Very country.
That's funny.
Me and my best friend, the only blackish people in there.
Blackish.
Blackish.
I love it. I love it.
But they loved us. Oh no.
Yeah, I was in college in 2010, doing the whole college thing. I do wish I would have took blogging more serious back then. If there was something I could do differently, I wish I would have taken that a little bit more seriously. I think I could be a good deal. Oh, like could have gotten a lot farther in my writing if I would have kept that up.
Sounds like your photography took you pretty far though.
Yeah, no, photography did me really, really well. I got my camera in 2010, actually, now that I think about it. And then I got my business license in 2012. And it took me through college.
See? So, you know, it sounds like you had your priorities together. Can't do everything.
Yeah, that's what everybody tells me. But to get your degrees and then still come back to, I still want to be a writer. You're like, really, man? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
all that debt.
I think that's a really hard thing for people to understand. Why you would want to leave something you're successful at to try something that is challenging, do something different. I was talking with my folks, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And we were talking about how I have finished very little in my writing life. Like I've done lots of other things. Like I have my own business and I'm sitting on the board of my church and like I have all of these success markers, but the things that I really want, I haven't actually finished.
Right.
And when you tell somebody, oh, well, I left my really nicely paying job so that I could have more time to write, they're like, yeah, but will you really like make it? And I'm like, that's really not the point. I mean, it is. Yes, I would like to be able to support myself as a writer. However, that's not the reason I left my job.
I just couldn't handle it. No.
Well, and you know, that's like
there's something, yeah,
closed idea that unless you're able to make something an absolute breadwinner, that you shouldn't do it.
Right.
Like, you know, you only have this one life.
Right.
Enjoy it. If you
Travis.
enjoy the writing,
Travis just let a demon out.
Oh, I hope it feels better. But you know, if you enjoy the writing and this is something that you want to pursue, then by all means, do it. You know, and if you decide that this isn't a path that you want, then change it.
And I think this is one of those things where there are people who are happy to work in a career that allows them to do the things that they like doing. So they go to work, they make enough money to be able to fund a hobby. You know, they go skydiving on the weekends, or they, I don't know, paint houses, or they take up roller derby or something like that. And that's the work that they do 40 hours a week funds that. And there are people who really like their jobs in the corporate world.
Yeah.
I don't understand those people. I have a sister who loves her job. She's a project manager at a massive bank, and she loves her job. She loves fighting with people about this is the best way to help our customers. And she is passionate about that in ways that just blow my mind. But that's what she loves and that's what she wants to do. And if that's your thing, that's great. But I think a lot of people also they either don't have a way to get ahead so that they can do the things that they love. Like they're just trying to survive. So you have people who are just trying to make it to the next day. And so they don't have the capacity to think about doing things that they love. That's not even a possibility. And then there are people who might be able to, but are so beaten down by the system that they just kind of go, this is just my lot. And I'm just going to be miserable all the time. And I think that's really sad.
Well, and to the point of people working and then doing things on the side, there's a lot of writers who don't give up their day job.
Oh yeah.
You know, like looking at Alexa Dunn's video about how she has her full time and she's not giving it up. And I think for me, that was probably the most relatable video that I've watched of hers. Like, I really understood where she was coming from. Like, I felt her on that one. And I feel like, you know, there's so many different paths to do this that you shouldn't feel like there's only one way that you have to live this writer life. And if anyone is giving you BS because of the path that you're choosing, just remember that this is your life and they can kick rocks, suck on a bag of stale eggs, and live their own destiny. And you choose yours. Because in the end, it's going to be you with your thoughts wondering if I would have just listened to myself instead of listening to him, her, and those, where would I be today?
Oh, yeah. Well, because everybody measures success in their own way. And you can't measure your success by someone else and vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just gotta
absolutely.
do your best, you. Just wanted to.
Yeah.
Honey, will you give me some wine?
And find yourself somebody to bring you wine.
I mean, get you one who could do both.
Yes.
As he could sit and play video games, and then he could also hook me up with some wine. Earlier, he gave me a sandwich. What else do I need, really?
Multi-talented.
He is.
Yeah.
And he does math. I can't do that.
Magical.
Me neither.
I can do like easy addition.
Yeah.
2 or fewer digits in a number, and I can do it.
He said, Heifer, here's this box. Leave me alone.
You got the chillable red over there?
You know it.
I got the sunset blush.
Oh.
Oh, it's tripping out.
You broke it.
There's ghosts.
All right, Casper in the wine box.
Right? Mm-hmm.
I mean, if somebody on AuthorTube is haunted, it's probably me.
They're like, we'll make you believe in something.
Right? I do believe in something. I believe in Bigfoot.
I love that.
That's right.
You think she's laughing, joking, but when we go camping, she hits trees with big sticks.
Because
I know
hear that?
all of them.
Bigfoot is known for tree knocking, everybody. It's very important knowledge.
Very important.
I don't play about animals and stuff in the woods. I don't blame her not one bit. Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah, I'm afraid of raccoons, and CJ thinks it's the funniest thing ever. I'm not afraid of raccoons, like, when I walk from my car to my house, because they're going to run away from me.
Right.
But if, like, they're trying to get my food, they are not trying to run away from me. And they can eat my face. And a mean raccoon is not a
They
plaything.
can eat my face. I love it.
Those big old mama raccoons who don't care that you're people, I'm wary of them.
Those ladies are vicious.
And there
Yeah.
was also the one year where we got like ninja attacked by raccoons. We were sitting
Oh
at
my
the
goodness.
campfire, and all of a sudden we hear
Ninja.
we're like, okay, so we're on a campfire. It's like a circle like this, and then there's a river over here. So we're sitting on the campfire like over here on like the far side, pointing at the river, and we hear slooshing, and then we move the flashlights over, and one raccoon is swum up to the side, and another one is like tick tick tick, like coming
With
through the
lights
woods.
on.
Like,
Oh,
and they do, they
no.
freeze because they hope
Yeah.
that you will stop seeing them if they stop moving. So like they'll be like doot doot doot. They're
man.
ridiculous.
But they're
Yeah.
so cute.
They
I
are if
remember-
they're on video. Or I did. I lived in an apartment at one point where it was a whole house, but the back. I lived in the back of the house, and it was 6 feet maybe to a fence, and on the fence was a tree going up, and I heard this like sound one night, and I got up, and it was a mom teaching her raccoon babies how to climb down and up the tree.
Oh wow.
And they were like this
Aw.
big. It was
I
all-
would have loved that.
I know. I
I
was
would've
like, this is
absolutely
the
loved
cutest
that.
thing ever.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
adorable.
saying Pocahontas had me thinking that raccoons were a lot more friendlier than they were, is all I'm saying.
No.
Oh,
Oh
no.
no, they are vicious animals.
Yeah.
They can
Like when-
be handled to the point where they are friendly-ish, but they cannot be domesticated.
Yeah.
And their
No,
feces
No,
hold
that's
some
not how
sort
it
of.
works, sweetheart. They don't act you. They don't run around going, Miko. and
No,
whatnot.
no,
Yeah,
they don't.
and their feces has some sort of bacteria or something in it that is actually like very bad for humans, like worse than like the cat one.
I thought it was like a parasite or something.
That's what it's called. Yes, a parasite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
So-
like it'll actually like get into your brain and get into your eyes and shit, and you'll see like squiggly lines.
And they can like if there's an injured one, they can do stuff to make sure that that's not the case. But you're not really allowed to have them, so you can't really like take the raccoon you found to the vet and have him tested and checked out.
Right.
You have to have a license to have a raccoon.
Yeah.
There were some raccoons who lived under the eaves in the house where my parents used to live, and they lived in an old Victorian. And so the top floor had several eaves, so they would just live in between. And they would there was a giant oak tree that grew up alongside of the house, and every once in a while the branches would grow long enough that they'd start hitting the roof, and my dad didn't want the roof tiles to be taken off by the oak tree. So one afternoon he had the oak tree trimmed, and that night my sister and I, our bedrooms were on the front of the house, and my sister, this is my middle sister, who's a little bit of a drama queen, I'm not gonna lie, she ran into my parents' room telling my dad that somebody was on the roof and trying to break into our house. And so my dad follows her back to her room. They open the window because she said somebody was on the roof of the porch. They open the window, and there's like 4 massive raccoons trying to scramble down the drain pipe because they had been going, like, they'd gone to sleep in their nice warm gable house, and when they woke up they couldn't get back down the tree because the branches had been cut, so they couldn't get down the way they'd been coming back up. And so they were trying to get down the drain pipe to leave, but my sister was sure that they were trying to break into the house.
Oh no.
Well, and when you're out, like, because we had rats in our attic at one point, and they would claw at the side of the house, and you could hear it, but it sounded like, and they weren't actually doing almost any damage, like,
Great.
but it sounded so overwhelmingly loud that, like, when I told my parents, I was like, I don't know what's going on, and they go up there and they can't find anything. We ended up having to get like an exterminator to come in and even figure out what it was. We couldn't even find them, but it sounded terrible.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And it was probably only one, they said. But yeah, it was ridiculous.
The Mini Monster and I were back east, and my uncle had built a merry-go-round in the backyard for the kids, and her and I were sitting on it, just kind of watching fireflies, and there was a storm rolling in, and above us was like scurrying. And she kept telling me, she's like, there's something in the tree. And I'm like, there's nothing in the tree. Are you kidding me? This is the safest place in the world. Sure enough, she turned the flashlight on to my cell phone. And right directly above us was like this family of raccoons because they were eating the little crab apples out of the tree. Oh, man. I don't sit on the merry-go-round at night anymore, but that was, I mean, it was, and then the next day we were in the pool, and here's this mama raccoon and her babies, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so cute. My uncle's like, are you kidding me? Yesterday you were terrified of them. You were ready to like burn down the whole forest. It was just
but they're different in the light.
yeah. During the day, they're super sweet, but at night, when you can't hear them, you're just like, ah.
Yeah, I'm less of a fan of almost anything if I can't see exactly what they're doing.
Right.
Like, I'm not even a huge fan of the kitten being in my room, because what if she decides that my toes are the next thing she's going to attack? And they might.
I mean, they are wiggly.
They are wiggly, and she likes things that wiggle, and she wants to bite them and make sure that they're either not alive or not alive anymore.
Right.
Toes
That
gonna
kitten
die.
life.
So
Kitten's got a kitten.
I had to go look up what Carol was talking about because I didn't know what the word was.
Oh,
Whoa.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube, also known as the Logan Paul forest.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
That
Don't.
fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
not funny to do to somebody. There
No.
are things that like people think it's really funny to like spring on someone, and it's just not.
No.
I had there's a lady in town who does like haunting stuff. Like she I've actually done book signings with her and stuff, but she does like they'll go to an old building and they'll spend the night there and try to look for ghosts and stuff. And it's not my scene or whatever, but I have a girlfriend who is very, very against that. And a friend of hers brought her to this show and didn't tell her what she was going to.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so now she's like traumatized, and she hates the lady who put it on. Because she was forced to go to this thing that she never would have agreed to go to.
Right.
You know? And she didn't even drive herself, I don't think. I think she rode with the girl who took her.
2 years ago, my best friend wanted to go to New Orleans for her birthday, and another friend of hers was like paying for the trip for us to go, at least to get there. And she wanted us to go to the cemetery, and she was like, oh, it's a tourist spot. So it's a tourist spot. Okay. Luckily for us, my best friend's ex-boyfriend used to live in New Orleans. He was like, don't you go to that cemetery. Don't nobody that lives in New Orleans ever walk through that cemetery, like real spirits and ghosts and stuff. We turned to her and we was like, did you know there were spirits? Of course I knew. Girl, you almost lost your life just then.
See, and that's the thing. Like, I went with my boss a couple of years ago, and my boss is a new agey Christian, I guess is the best way to put it. And I am, as I've established repeatedly, like a hard fucking atheist. And I wanted to go and write an X on Marie Laveau's grave. And she was just like, nah. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to tell you that I think you should. Like, if I had pushed it, she probably would have gone. But I'm like, I'm not going to tell you to do something that's like contrary to your comfort.
Yeah.
You know, like she probably. And then there was also a Honey Island Swamp tour. And Honey Island Swamp is where Hatchet takes place. And it's one of my favorite slasher movies. It's ridiculous. And I saw the tour and I was like, that would be way fun. And Allie wouldn't even know what the reference is. Like, she's never heard of this movie. I know it. And then I was like, I'm not going to make her do it. It doesn't hurt any that I'm also afraid of, like, large reptiles that resemble dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So, I'm not looking to go to a Louisiana swamp quite as heavily as one might think.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you won't catch. Like I watch those like swamp people, and I'm like, man, y'all are insane. I would not be. I would. I don't.
People.
Yeah, like I don't care if that alligator's got a big old massive hook stuck in its gullet or not. I am not going to be that close to something with like teeth and shredding and no, 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 no. And they're like, here we are with our little 22, bam, and then they throw them in the boat, and I'm like, I wouldn't be in the boat with a fucking alligator. It's gonna be like resurrection alligator. It's gonna eat me, okay? Because that's the kind of luck I have. But
I'm not really into the swamp people. Now those moonshiners, I fuck with them. Oh yes. I mean,
Dana
like,
knows
yes,
some of those personally.
I do. No.
at my best friend's wedding, we had the hookup on the shine. We had apple pie shine. We had
so good.
oh my god, we had so many flavors, and it was a wonderful event. The man, he wasn't a minister, but he was he did the rites of the ceremony, and he ended up
Officiant.
he fell out. He got into that shine, and he fell out backwards into the there was like a outside fire pit that he fell into. It wasn't lit, but it was very hard, and he fell from like up here down into it. And one of my older brothers went over to him, and my brothers are much older than me, so this was like the first time that I'd ever really seen him on my turf. And I was watching him, and I was like, he's dealt with a lot of drugs. Because he went over, he was like, hey buddy, let me help you up there. And like he lifted him up so gently, like he was a little baby. He was like, come on, buddy. He dusted him off, he's all wobbling, and John like helped him to go sit down. I was like, wow, you've done that so many times. I see you. I appreciated him, and we went on with the karaoke.
I'm just picturing a drunk person who just had somebody say their vows fall over into this pit.
Can you imagine, like, every year on your anniversary, you're like, remember when the officiant couldn't handle his shine?
I mean, it was a story.
Yeah.
Story. It's a great story.
That's true.
Those are the best.
There are stories from my wedding that are great stories, but I don't tell them very often because they annoy me. But I'm sure other people tell them.
I tell them.
See, best friends. She probably doesn't tell that story much either.
Yeah, I mean, things like somebody brought a homeless man.
That's cool. That's to like your actual wedding or to like the reception?
Well,
or was it at the same place?
The reception was down the road, but it was to the reception, but like apparently it was like a family member and a homeless dude. Not quite sure about that. And then there was almost a fist fight. And then that one lady, that really famous lady, played the show outside.
Yeah.
What's her name? She's not really famous. Sophie B. Hawkins. Travis remembered.
B. Hawkins. Yes.
Yeah, Sophie B. Hawkins played my wedding accidentally.
That's cool, though.
It was lovely.
How?
You're trying to formulate that question, aren't you?
We had a wedding. We had a reception at a bar. The bar was throwing a block party in the street that they had hired Sophie B. Hawkins for.
Wow.
So it was unrelated to my wedding. She just happened to be there. It was a coincidence.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
I remember her.
Yeah. So
I bet she has her Medi Mary license these days.
I have never heard that, Medi Mary. I like that.
Medi Mary.
I'm going to start saying that. I'm going to make it a thing in Oklahoma.
Were we gonna do another sprint, or do you guys want to wrap? Because we're hitting like 10:30 my time here. We're approaching.
Mm.
Oh, you in Central
I
Time
could
Zone
do.
too? Hey.
Yeah.
I could do either.
What do people want to do in the comments?
I don't know. What do you guys want to do? What are you guys thinking?
Press 1 for.
Oh, man.
Press 1 to return to the main menu.
Right?
So did y'all read Carol's story?
Oh no. I'm
Yeah. Oh, I wish that I would have had someone say Queen to Be.
Vision of perfection.
That's one of the best freaking movies in the history of movies.
I'm so excited that they're doing.
I can't wait for
People-
this. Yeah,
It's gonna be all the same people. I'm here for it. I got my T-shirt hanging up. It's gonna be hype.
See, oh man, I avoided awkward wedding stories. My husband actually planned the whole thing. I basically got invited to our wedding, and like him and his friend planned the whole thing. It was at his friend's house, and like there was no drama because like every time somebody would be like, oh well, what about this? I'm like, well, Scott planned it, and that's not in the plans, so it's not
Oh,
happening.
that's very nice.
Yeah, I was just like,
Honey, do you want to plan our wedding?
I
I
had
know.
people fighting over what gifts they gave me. Like, one person got pissed at another person because of the gift the other person gave me
Oh,
because they thought it was too much.
Huh?
oh,
What?
Yeah.
Listen,
have several
Yeah.
seats. Several.
you know, we would have had words, wedding day or not.
mm,
Yeah, well, it was so bad that 3 days before the wedding, one of my friends was like, look, my husband and I are doing really well right now. I can afford to take you and your parents and us and Travis, and if he wants to bring someone with him, and we'll just go get married in Vegas. And like, the only reason I didn't was because my mother decided to invite my grandma.
oh wow.
That's the only reason I didn't.
Gee, I can't wait for our wedding.
To be
just
fair,
remember it's your wedding and
to be
everyone
fair,
else
yeah,
can
I
go
always knew this
F
one person
themselves.
was kind of a spoiled brat. So
Yeah,
kind of.
I as far as like gifts and stuff, when anybody asked like what we wanted, I just told them like, okay, help us pay for like the reception and stuff, because I didn't. Between the two of us, we pretty much already had everything, and I don't know. I think wedding gifts can get a little bit ridiculous.
our whole wedding was $1,000.
Yeah, like
The
And
bar
the-
owner let us use it for free because Travis's sister was the manager and Travis had done work for them over time. So they let us rent out the upstairs. We rented a theater, the theater that Travis's first movie premiered in, and so that was pretty much it. And our whole ceremony was 6 minutes.
It was
Oh,
a
wow.
beautiful ceremony.
yeah.
Yeah, the pictures took longer.
6 minutes.
It was
Oh
beautiful.
wow.
It was almost the Spaceballs. Do you yes? Good, you're married. Kiss her.
Which you would have done, but it wasn't legal.
Yeah, it wasn't legal, so we couldn't do that. Because you have to say like a certain phrase.
Yeah. Oh, that whole like
It's something that indicates that you're not being coerced, and I can't remember what the phrase is, but it indicates that you are making this decision of your own volition.
oh.
Is really that's the sticky widget. But Illinois is weird about a lot of stuff, so like you can marry
Yeah.
your cousin as long as you first give them evidence that one of the two of you is sterile.
Oh my.
And it's just on the normal paperwork. Like the paperwork, like that's the reason I know is because on the paperwork it says, "Are you first cousins, or related? Are you related in some way including first cousins? And if so, please provide paperwork proving sterilization of one party.
Wow.
I was
That
like, well, I can
is-
very comfortably mark no there. Like, I'm good.
Well, I always think it's funny how like I always think it's funny how people make fun of like West Virginia for like, you know, inbreds and hillbillies and all this other stuff. And I was looking into the laws, and in West Virginia, it is illegal to marry your cousin. However, in regular Virginia, you can marry your cousin, and there's no stipulations. You can make like children with your cousin, and I'm just like, man, states have some really crazy laws. It's like, is your population so low you have to like encourage inbreeding?
I lived in Virginia when I was a kid. I think Morgan Hazelwood lives in Virginia. I think she lives in the town I grew up in, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, weirdly enough. Like, I could actually give her my old address. I still know it. I haven't lived there since I was like 8.
Some things just stick in your head forever.
I'd have to go to Google Maps to find the actual numbers, but it was Buckeye Court in Manassas, Virginia. I can tell you that. And it's right by the Battle of Manassas Park, which is where I almost got kidnapped that time.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not kidding.
Y'all are
It's
really
just weird.
coming out with the stories tonight. My goodness.
Yeah, it was
Cache, I hope you want to come back. Right?
Yeah, why? I don't know though. Like, okay, so there was like a 1/4-mile walk path, and for some reason, my friend left me at like 6, and my friend's little sister with me on a playground, while she and the girl who was my age walked around because it was the 80s and that's what we did. And like this dude like went and took a leak over by the fence and tried to get us to come over and look at his dick.
Oh my god. Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to draw a picture of him for the police. It was a whole thing. And like, I didn't tell my mom. I told her mom right away, and then I got home and I was really upset and I felt really like sad. And my mom was helping me in the bath, and I started crying, and she was like, "What's wrong?" And I told her what happened, and my mom like lost her shit on the other mom, like lost it.
Oh wow. Well, like, oh wow.
She
The
didn't
other mom
feel the
wasn't
need to
paying-
tell my mother that it happened.
Oh, are you kidding? Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
so
have
she let my mom's like 6-year-old come home and tell her
Yeah.
about this dude trying to show him his dick.
Oh my god. No, if Minnie Monster came home and said something like that and she was in the care of another parent, I would have. Your mom's got a lot of self-control, because I would have lost my shit. Like, just,
I never saw
I'd
that
be-
little girl again.
yeah.
Well, I ran into her like 'cause we had a park in the neighborhood, but like I never played with her again.
Mm. Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah, my mom was like, fuck that. No.
yeah. Yeah, because you have to be able to trust you have to be able to trust the parents of your children's friends to
Yeah.
protect them, you know? And once that trust is broken, it's like, fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, she couldn't take that.
Yeah. No. Well,
Well, I vote that we don't do a sprint because
Yeah.
we've talked
Yeah.
for extra
That's fine.
20 minutes.
I know. I'm like,
That's
I'm
fine
really
because I only
tired.
had like one person who said one more, and everybody else said kind of huh. So I'm sorry to Jennifer, but we talked too long.
We're sorry.
Bitches be tripping.
Yeah. I know.
I've
I've
been
been
trying to
up
tell you
since
guys for
5
years.
o'clock this morning, and now I'm all bleh.
Maybe you should name this chat something about trigger warnings. So if anyone wants to watch it later, they can.
Why would you do that to me? You caught me so off guard. Why would you do that to me? You are so awful. Like,
Line
Oh,
number 2, the truth comes out. Better get me off of this stream.
man, ridiculous.
oh my goodness. All right. Well, let's go ahead and say our closings then.
Sorry.
Tamara's over here fucking killing me. Dead. DED. All right. CJ, why don't you do your stuff?
I'm CJ Bloyer, and you can go down below and click on my Twitter if you like things retweeted. I'm very good at retweeting. And I
Excellent
like things.
retweeter.
What?
I said you're an excellent retweeter.
Thank you. I try. You can also check out my serial YA fantasy, the South Deer Island Chronicles, which will be updated for the first time in a very long time next week. So go check it out. There's like 23 episodes right now, and there won't be more coming. And that's it for me.
All right. Dana.
Yeah, you can find all my good stuff either at my YouTube channel or on my website, danagollenwrites.com. Yeah, and eventually I'm gonna have this new thing ready for pre-order, and I'll put it out there and let everybody know where to go and check it out.
Yay!
I know, I'm super excited.
All right. Cachet.
Hey everybody, I'm Cachet. I write short stories and poetry, and I have 2 blogs. One that is launching tomorrow. It is 50shadesofshade.wordpress.com. It is a mental health and lifestyle blog, so I'll be talking about different things that affect the mental health community as well as neurological disorders because I have epilepsy, so definitely check that out, yo.
All right. And those links are down below. Everybody's links are down below. I did get Cachet's up there too. And Tamara.
Cachet, would you call yourself a mental health influencer?
I want to be one. It's my goal. It's on my goal list for 2020.
All right. So my name is Tamara Woods, and I'm a cozy mystery author. Carol and I have a podcast called Author Truth News. We've had to delay it, so it'll be coming out tomorrow at some point. So keep your eyes peeled. There's also going to be a video posting on my channel tomorrow talking about Writers Workshop and the challenge that I'm doing in February that I'm inviting you all to participate with me. So yeah, that's it.
Yay.
All right. And then I am Sarah Sharnover, and this is my channel. I am a horror author. Surprise. And I'll see you guys all next week. I do have a video on Sunday. Make sure that you're here for that because it's going to be stupid like all of them. And I'll probably sing things in out of tune and without a tune or make up a tune or tune a fish. I don't know.
And there'll be kittens.
Yes, and there's kittens. So I'll see you guys all later. Have a wonderful week. Bye.
Bye.